Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be going over our live twin Fiendsmith deck profile. Now, I've been playing this a little bit at locals and I've been really enjoying it. I've been running around with this. I feel like it's just such a strong deck just because you can fit so much non-engine in it. So the amount of hand traps you can fit in it, you can fit like 22 hand traps in it, which is pretty insane. We do like max out on the Fiendsmith stuff and all like live twin stuff, and obviously I think this will be a pretty decent deck for quite a while. I don't think it'll be like absolutely game break tier 0, but it'll definitely always be, you know, up there for quite a while until like the Fiendsmith stuff gets hit, or if it ever gets hit, right? So to start off, we do play the 3 Kiss Kill and 3 Frost. Now, these are basically our best normal summon of the deck. So on normal summon, the normal live twin Kiss Kill, it will special summon the Leela from deck, and then the Frost. Now, both these basically, all you want them to do is basically get a 2 Kiss Kill, which is the only reason why like we max them out, because with any one of these, it's just full combo, so it's pretty strong. But with the Frost, the extra effect of Frost is that when it's in graveyard and your opponent adds a card from deck to hand during their turn, we can banish it and then get to draw a card, which is pretty good. For the Leelas, we only play one of each just for now. Now, the Sweet is a bit of a brick in hand. It's like a crazy, it's weird, right? Because it's like a brick, but it also is like a super good card. So a lot of people will try and like fool you on the Kiss Kill. And if you have this in hand, so you go normal summon and then Kiss Kill effect special from deck, the Leela, and you have this from hand, you can respond to the Malchumi just by discarding from hand, negates their effect, and then this is the card that you want engraved, right? So it gets it engraved already, so it's pretty strong. But sometimes when you have this in hand and you don't have the right cards, it can be a bit of a struggle to get this on the field, so you'll have to have another extender in hand to sort of get there. But that's like all the monsters for the live twin stuff, and then we just play 3 Sunny Stitch, which is just another 3 Kiss Kill. So that's why we play those. And this deck is really crazy just because you can fit so much non-engine in it. So at the moment we just play a bunch of Fiendsmith stuff, nothing crazy, right? So we max out on the engravers, 1 Lacrima, 1 Lurie, 2 Track, and 1 Fiendsmith Paradise. This card comes up a lot, and it was really strong in the grind games where it's on their turn, and then you got the Lacrima, and you have the Requiem engraved. So I had a like with the Requiem engraved, and you shuffle. You go effect of this, summon back the Requiem, shuffle this back to deck, and then effect the Requiem, shoot this out, and then this effect, dump this, and then send the Desiree. So that's why we run that, and it's also like, just a pretty decent card. Even if we draw it, which is a bit of a brick, we do play like a Balku and stuff to discard this to get it into the grave, so that's why we do that. And then, like we said, we do run a bunch of hand traps. Now, you can sort of change this around the meta that you guys are currently in, but we basically just run all these, and because this deck is all just 1 card starters, you can just run a bunch of hand traps and it doesn't really matter. So I guess this is like your preference of what you want to run. I run the 3 Fua and 1 Perillia just for now, but obviously as the meta changes, you might change it around, or maybe you want more nibs, or you want more ghost spells, or whatever it is, right? But it's really just up to you what type of hand traps you guys want to run. But this is just what I run at the moment, and I'm finding, it's pretty good. Like obviously Droll and all the Malchumis are also really strong at the moment, and then the ghost spells are like all the Bestials and Malice and stuff like that. And then obviously we just play the 3 God cards, right? So just because we can play a bunch of hand traps, we play the Crosshair just because, if they got to hand trap us, we probably have the card in our deck anyway, so we can just get rid of it. Now, you make sure you save this for like a nib or like a Fua. So Fluid kills it pretty hard. So if we get Fluid, we're basically instantly getting rid of that because we can't play through it. If we get Fluid, we basically just have to turn skip, which is the one downside, because obviously it's one of those cards at the moment that's seen a lot of meta play. So This is why we run this. And then obviously if they don't do that, if they prove it, I don't care. They can have one draw, but you know, if they don't, I'm holding this for the nib. And then obviously like talents, cool, but I don't have to explain them. They're just crazy cards, right? Alrighty, and then for our extra deck, for our live twin stuff, we run, okay, so we run the skill deal, and then we run the two evil twin, Leela, and the kiss kill, and then obviously the trouble Sunny. Now, if you get into this, and then you can send the suite of this, you basically have full combo, which is pretty insane, right? These two cards are really funny, just because they keep summoning each other. So if you have like a, you know, not great player, and they, you know, you summon this back through this, and then they pop this, you can summon it back with this, so like summon this back, so it's pretty funny. And then Trouble Sunny has the ability to tribute and then summon back non-target, by the way. One kiss killer and one Leela, which is pretty funny. And then next for our Fiendsmith sort of stuff, we run all of these. So obviously, you know, big Fiendsmith package, right? So we run a bunch of extra cards to sort of make sure we get into it. So the one thing I would say about this is that I would maybe run 2 Requiems, or you could run 2 Kiss Kill of the red ones, the evil twin Kiss Kill. You could definitely run 2 of them if you really wanted to. That's really up to you guys, but this is what we're playing at the moment. Sometimes you'll have like, I don't know, nib on board, and then you'll just get like a, you know, it'll be one of those games where you just pass, and then you can get into this, and then obviously get straight into Requiem. So that's why we play the moon, but you could definitely swap it out to something else if you guys really wanted to, but it's really just up to you. And then for our generic extra deck, we are just playing all these. So because we were on the Fiendsmith stuff, Chaos Angel was one of those cards where you just use a Lacrima and use the Engraver, level 10, bang, shove them on board. Big body can't be affected by monster effects, so it comes up quite a bit. And the Banish is also a really nice touch where you can just banish something. 3500 beta, you know, it's pretty good. SP, because we don't get locked into anything for the whole time, so, you know, SP sometimes it's just like the last thing you need to do, and you go, you know, that's all I got. So the Typhon is when you sort of just have nothing else to do, and you just go, look, I'm just going to go Typhon, pass. And then Balku, the best card in the deck, one of them, right? To be able to discard, banish itself, summon back the Trouble Sunny, and then pass, come back on end phase with the Trouble Sunny, and then one of the Fiendsmith monsters. It's pretty strong, man. That's like 3 negates, or 4 interactions just by itself. So the Balku definitely makes the deck a lot more stronger, but that's what we're playing at the moment, guys. If you guys have any recommendations, feel free to let me know. Big shout out to a bunch of the boys at Chermside, and to Nick and Costa, right? These are the 2 boys I've seen play live twin. It's sort of jumped me on the, you know, the bandwagon, I guess. And I was like, oh, look, like I really want to try the deck. Played it a bunch of live. I was like, look, I gotta play the second live. So that's why we play these. But if you guys enjoyed the video, give us a sub, like, or whatever. But cheers, boys.